I stood across the street and watched my own restaurant burn to the ground. 12 years of work, my grandmother's recipes, my name in gold across the front window, gone in 90 minutes. 4 years later, that same ruin had a new name on a new door and 3 Michelin stars hanging above it. No culinary school, no investors, no secret, just this. And I'm going to walk you through every single step, every mistake, every dollar, every night I almost quit. Let me back up. I grew up outside Cleveland, Ohio. My mother worked 2 jobs, my father was gone, and the only place that ever felt like home was the kitchen of a tiny diner, where I started washing dishes at 15 for $4 an hour. I was bad at school, bad at sports, bad at almost everything. But the first time the old head chef showed me how to plate a dish, wiping the rim clean with a folded towel, something clicked. For the first time in my life, I was good at something. So I showed up 2 hours early to watch him work, and stayed 2 hours late to clean his station for free. By 22, I'd clawed through 6 kitchens. I'd been screamed at, scalded, cut, and humiliated. I traded free labor on my days off for French technique, slept on a friend's couch for 3 years, and ate 1 real meal a day so the rest could go into a coffee can under the sink. By 30, I had enough. Enough money, enough skill, enough fire in my chest. I signed a lease on a little 18-table room downtown and named it Marguerite, after my grandmother. The woman who taught me that food is just love you can taste. Opening night, the line stretched down the block. The menu was everything I believed in. Short rib braised 3 full days until it fell apart at a touch. Pasta rolled by hand every morning. 1 dessert built from my grandmother's exact recipe, down to the pinch of sea salt she swore was the secret. A woman once wrote me a letter saying it tasted exactly like her childhood. The reviews came in good. Not great. Good. And nobody warns you that good doesn't pay the bills. I was working 100 hours a week, head chef, manager, accountant, and the guy mopping the floor at 2 in the morning. Then rent went up. A supplier raised his prices. My best line cook quit. So I started cutting corners. I bought a cheaper exhaust hood instead of the one the inspector recommended. I skipped a maintenance check to save $400. I told myself I'd fix it next month, when things got better. They didn't get better. They got desperate. And desperate people make mistakes. It was a Friday in October, the busiest service we'd ever had. 40 covers, every table full, 6 of us moving like one machine. Around 9 o'clock, a flare-up caught the grease in that cheap exhaust hood. The one I never cleaned. The one I cut corners on. Within seconds, the fire was in the ductwork. Within a minute, the ceiling above my line was glowing orange, and the dining room went black with smoke. I got every single person out. Every guest, every server, every line cook. I went back through that kitchen twice, screaming names over the roar until I was sure. Nobody was hurt. I made sure of that before I ever thought about myself. Then I stood on the curb and watched 18 tables, a full kitchen, and 12 years of my life turn to ash. The gold letters of my name melted off the window, one at a time. The insurance didn't cover it because I'd cut that corner too. I was 31 years old, $200,000 in debt, and completely finished. For 3 months, I didn't cook a single thing. I couldn't even look at a stove. I took a job washing dishes again. 16 years later, right back where I started, that same $4 feeling, scraping other people's plates. Every night I'd lie awake replaying the fire, asking the same question on a loop. How did I let this happen? But before I gave up, I did one thing right. I actually looked at my own numbers, really looked, and the pattern was screaming at me. The dishes I'd rushed, the corners I'd cut, the 40-item menu I couldn't possibly control. That was the failure. Not bad luck. Not the fire. Me, spread too thin to be great at anything. The fire didn't destroy my restaurant. My ego did. I thought passion was enough. It isn't. Passion without discipline is just a fire waiting to happen. It took 2 years to climb out of debt, working other people's kitchens, and finally learning everything I'd been too proud to learn the first time. How to run numbers. How to lead a team without screaming. How to say no. Then, a former investor, a man who ate at Marguerite once and never forgot that short rib, offered me a tiny space. 10 tables. That was it. This time I did everything the opposite way. Not bigger. Tighter. I built a menu of just 7 dishes and made each one flawless, instead of 40 that were merely fine. I hired a real team and trusted them with things I used to guard with my life. I cleaned that exhaust hood myself every single night, like a ritual, long after everyone went home. I tracked every dollar and checked every system twice. We called it Ash, because that's exactly where it came from, and because I never wanted to forget it. The first year, word spread slowly, then all at once. One night, a food critic from the city paper sat at table 4 without a reservation and ordered the entire menu. I had no idea who he was until the review ran that Sunday and we were booked solid for 3 months by Monday morning. A 10-table room, a 7-course menu, and a chef who treated every plate like it might be his last. Strangers flew in just to eat. We earned our first Michelin star in year 2. I cried in the walk-in freezer so my team wouldn't see. The second came the year after. And then, 4 years after I watched my dream burn, I got the call. 3 Michelin stars. Fewer than 150 restaurants on the entire planet hold them. From the ashes of the worst night of my life to the top of the mountain. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this. I didn't win because I had some brilliant idea. Anybody can braise a short rib. I won because I finally stopped trying to do everything and got obsessively good at one thing when it would have been easier to quit. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the price you pay for it. That fire took everything from me, but it gave me the one thing I was missing, the humility to do it right. My name is on a different door now, but I still clean the hood myself every night before service, because I never forget where the fire started. And if you're watching this standing in the wreckage of something you built, hear me. That's not the end of your story. That's the part right before it actually begins. If this story hit you the way it hit me, do me one favor. Tap that subscribe button and go watch the next video right now, because your climb to the top starts the moment this one ends.